Well, well, it's good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It is good to be back. I did take a little bit of a hiatus. You know, I found that politics, religion, women's rights, abortion, very, very divisive topics. And I didn't want to be the divisive one at that moment in time. But here we are. The verdict is in. And I'm ready to speak now. I'm ready to speak my mind now.
What is it, Lamar?
Well, everybody vote? I voted. A lot of people voted. A lot of people voted. It was huge turnout. How did you vote, Lamar? Of course, everybody know how I vote. What other way would I vote? I'm a young black man. There's obviously no other vote that I would have, except for, voting Democrat, which I always have. Up to this point. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You want to know why? Do you want to know why I did? I'll tell you why I did. I'd love to tell you why I voted for Trump. Was excited to do so, too. Almost wrote my name on the daggone ballot. Parked my car. Well, it actually parked itself. Walked up to my voting place, elementary school. This guy said, would you like a Republican sample ballot, sir? I said, you know what? I believe I would. And then I took one from him and I grabbed one. There was a Middle Eastern, maybe Indian guy. He was holding the Democratic sample ballots. He said, yeah, but I know you want one of these. I said, I bet you think that I do. And that's y'all's Democrats' problem right there. You see me and you think I'm a shoo-in. I must need one. No, actually, I don't need one of those. Well, full disclosure, I do believe in checks and balances. So I did vote Republican national, but I did vote Democrat in all my local. But Tim Kaine, shout out Tim Kaine. And I think Subaya. I'm not sure if he got elected or not. But you know what? That didn't matter anyway, because landslide. A resounding victory. Wow. Where do I begin? I don't even know where to begin. Well, Lamar, answer the question. Why did you vote for Trump? Because I believe. Here's the thing. Yes, I cast my ballot for Trump. President Trump. But I wasn't necessarily, hear me out, I wasn't necessarily voting for the individual who is Donald J. Trump. Say what? What do you mean, Lamar? I wasn't voting for the man or, his ideologies or, well, isn't that what you should be voting? Well, yeah, true. You know what? Somewhat I did. Okay, somewhat I did. I found myself at a place in life. Here I am, 43 years old, with children that are almost grown. But they think they're grown. And I found myself in a different place in life than I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So the message that I'm looking for to speak to my needs, seem to be real Republican. I'm looking at the tax breakdown for Donald J. Oh, he's gonna tax the poor and only and the rich are gonna be yeah. Well, you know what? I found I made over $100,000 last year just by myself. I live in Loudoun County. I ain't scared to say it. I'm a figure. Ain't hard to find. The wealthiest county in the nation. Some like 20 some odd years. Right next to Fairfax County, which is number 2. Used to be number 1 for Loudoun came and kicked that out long ago. Median household income like 120, something like that. Please believe we've been well below the poverty line for a little while now. With great success comes when I would do good. Medicaid just sent me a text asking me to fill out a survey because you are no longer covered, is what they told me and my kids. Congratulations, you're doing better for yourself. Now you can do for yourself, is what they told me, and that's cool. That makes me feel proud of myself and my achievements, how far I've come in life. Wasn't but just a short time ago. Anyway, so I found that Kamala's message of first-time home buyers incentive and newborns, newborn tax credits and all that. Like I've already bought my first house and I'm looking to upgrade. I'm looking to get that single family. I'm looking to get these interest rates back down where they was like 2020, 2018, 2016, and I'm trying to move on, keep moving on up in the world. But yeah, that message just wasn't for me. I have a 19-year-old, and maybe he's thinking about what it would be like if he had a newborn with his sexually active self, or maybe he's thinking about getting his first. I hope he is thinking about getting his first home. So maybe that message applied to him. I'm not sure if he voted Democrat. I didn't ask him. I didn't get that vibe though, but I'm not sure. Anyway, and you know what? Maybe he even listens to a lot of the music that was presented at the Democratic National Convention. Can we talk on that for just a little bit? Can I just talk on? I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't actually see any of it except for the little clips that I was shown in my algorithm. So I might have a skewed perspective, but from what I did see, I would say, as a black man, I was utterly I don't want to be careful. I don't want to be insulting to anybody, but I was insulted. I was insulted that whoever came up with that script and was like, Lamar's kind of teeter-tottering. He's always voted Democrat, so we probably got his vote, but there could be a slight chance. So what could we do to get the message through to him? And somebody back there was like, well, if pushing her as the first black woman president didn't get him, I'll touch on that in a moment. This is why I stayed away from this until now. This is why I stayed away from all this until now. But it's time now, baby. I'm gonna speak on it. Somebody back there, I feel like on her staff, she had like the writers of Malcolm and Eddie, and they were like, what do black people like? What are these Negroes like? Well, what's going to make these Negroes get up and be happy and come to these polls? I have nothing against Glorilla. I have nothing against Cardi B. But I'm still insulted just the same that display of ratchetry. I said it. That display of hooligan. That display of not hooliganism. That display of crass imagery. Like, who decided Cardi B, got mad love for you. Think you're a talented musician. Reader?
Reading is fundamental.
Not exactly the person that I would say, you know what, we should have this person come and read a message to the people. I understand your teleprompter wasn't working, but for someone whose job it is to entertain the masses, you look like you wanted to say something, but at the same time you ain't want to say the wrong thing, so you kind of didn't want to say anything. I get that. But then there's the whole reading off the cell phone. I don't know what better. I mean, they didn't have a script like typed out and printed just in case technology failed. Like I don't. And it was just it's like, I think your accent is real. I don't want to come off as being chauvinistic or anything, but like sexy. It's mad attractive. And like to hear you speak, I like that accent, that twang you got, but there's a time and a place. Like, I don't understand why we got Glorilla, great artist. I got a Curbin on right now, like, great artist. But like, why was that the choice of how we're going to seal this thing? Y'all decided to revamp the Source Awards for the Democrat. Do y'all remember when Obama? Do y'all remember that stage when Obama came out to accept that nomination? To oh my God, the flags and the columns and the pillars and the Stevie Wonder was there, Aretha Franklin was there, or either some people that made it sound like they was there. I mean, just the class and message conveyed and the pride that I was able to feel at that event, and just the clips that I saw. I mean, like I said, I ain't see the whole thing, so maybe I missed the part where they had Reverend Al Sharpton come out. Maybe I missed the part where Jesse Jackson came and, you know, gave a little speech to inspire the, you know, minds such as myself. I don't know. It was wild. I saw they had Oprah there, and they've been asking Oprah for the last 10, 11 years why she don't run for politics. She's so popular. Everybody likes your opinions. You've got the suburban white woman vote on lock. Why don't you run for politics? Every time she gives the same answer, which most people give before they actually decide to run for politics. But she gives it like, I have no intention of running. I'm not interested in running. Politics is ugly, this, that, and the other. I don't want to get involved in it. But she always want to give her endorsement though. If you don't want to run and be in that office and be elected and held responsible, like if you want to make it known that you had no intention of being involved in politics, then why are we then as a people supposedly so concerned about who she endorses? And I don't believe that everybody who got on camera and endorsed Kamala actually got in that booth. But, you know, that's just me. Oh man. Yeah, so back to the display of ratchetry. Like I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed as a black man. I was embarrassed as a father. I was embarrassed as an intellect, as a Democrat. I was embarrassed that this was what someone thought was the best idea to drive this thing on home and to get the black vote and whoever else. The brown vote as well, I guess. Because Cardi B well, she's Dominican, right? So y'all trying to get that brown vote. Man, did y'all see that border in Texas? That border along Mexico. Man, do you know how many Mexicans, Puerto Ricans along that coastline? Pennsylvania, man. So why didn't they show up? Why didn't the brown people and the black people, why didn't we show up? They gave us the show. Had us on TV, shucking and jiving, having a Negro good time. What it looked like. Like I said, if I was 19 years old and I seen that on TV, I think back to my 19-year-old self, and if they had, what would that have been? Lord have mercy. The year 2000. I think if at the Democratic National Convention in 2000, John Edwards brought up the Hot Boys, you know what I'm saying? And it probably meant Diddy at the time. Like I'd have probably seen that on TV, like, yeah, you got my vote. But like I said, now, you know, the message I'm looking for a little different. Yeah, I was just completely embarrassed, and that quickly ended. That quickly ended as quick as this race was called. That quickly ended. My embarrassment, it turned into pride. It turned into pride. Why, Lamar? Because you helped to get Donald J. Trump elected? No, it turned into pride because we collectively didn't fall for the okie doke. Let me get to it. This was the long wind up. Now the pitch. Here it come. We didn't fall for the okie doke. What's the okie doke? We didn't fall for the buffoonery. We didn't fall for the show, which we usually do.
Bamboozle.
Let me expand on that a little bit. What's the last? Who's the last? Matter of fact, not even the last. And in the last 4 years, name me 3 black people that were wrongfully killed by the police. I'll wait. How many did you come up with, kids? My point being, if you're like me, I can't name you any. Is that because I don't care, or because I am not abreast of current events, or don't stay in tune to politics, or the unarmed, the killing of unarmed black people by law enforcement? Of course not. None of that. It's just, you would think by the social climate and seemingly lack of awareness over the last 4 years that you would think that doesn't happen anymore. What are you talking about? Unarmed black people being killed by police. That's so passe. Like we've gotten over that. Are you sure? Are you sure? What if I told you that there's actually been more unarmed black people killed under the Biden-Harris regime, Biden-Harris White House than there were in the... No, that can't be true. Honestly, I don't know if it's true. The card is made out. But I feel like, how would you really know? Unless you researched it for yourself. And who the hell does that in the scroll generation? So... Five, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we were saying names like Sandra Bland. We were saying names like Breonna Taylor. We were saying names like George Floyd. During the Trump administration, we were out in them streets. We were literally painting the streets. Who's the last person's name that we collectively, as a society, as black people, have raised up, have made a slogan out of, have put on t-shirts, have marched for, have stood up for, have remembered? Who is it happening? It must not be happening anymore, because we're not doing that anymore. Or are we just asleep? Why are we asleep? Because Democrats are in office. Thank you for still being with me. I'm gonna expand on it. Don't let me lose you yet. When Trump was in office, just here in my own neighborhood, they renamed Robert E. Lee Elementary School. They renamed Stonewall Jackson High School. I believe it's now called Freedom, I think. They renamed highways. They took down Robert E. Lee's statue outside the courthouse. They took down Columbus's statue. I think it was in Ohio or something. I'm not sure. They renamed Columbus Day Indigenous Peoples Day. Why do we stop? Are there no more roads left that are named after Confederate generals? Are there no more statues up? Are there no more schools that are still? Is there no more reform that needs to be done? Are there no more victims that need to be seen and heard, and stories told, and awareness given to? Are we in utopia, or are we just asleep? Is that not the prevailing agenda for the media, or for your algorithms, or for your own consciousness? Is that not what you're focused on? Why? There are people still dying, but we're not marching in the streets. There are still schools, roads, named after people who we decided we were not going to be celebrating anymore. There is still work to be done in the rebuilding up of our society. Why did we stop marching? What? Y'all gonna say it was COVID? No, COVID didn't stop us. We were still out there, Matt. Let me not say we. I didn't actually. I was watching from home. I wasn't out in them streets. But it was a glorious time. And I appreciated the awareness of our culture. I appreciated the direction. I appreciated the intention of our actions and the want and desire that we had to know what was going on and the injustices being done and what we could collectively get together and do about it. I think it's sad that we can't do that on our own. And I found the best way to bring us together as a people, to get us back on that united collective, was to help elect President Donald J. Trump to his second term. Because when was the last time we have been like that? I don't necessarily like or dislike him as a man, haven't met him, sat down or talked with him personally. I may not agree with everything he says or does, but that goes with anybody. You, and I'm sure the same could apply from you to me. So, like I said, it was his message, and it was where we were collectively as a society. Now, I'm not for all the Marvel. You've helped to empower the racists and the bigots and the MAGAs and the red hats and the January 6ers and you made it harder on yourself and on your children. Yes, exactly. That's what needed to be done. And it's an awakening. And I believe we're woke. I believe we're woke, and it's already happening because we didn't rush to the polls and fall for that shucking and jiving okey doke. We didn't fall for the elect her as your first black president. You know what? I asked this to one of my coworkers. Has this ever happened before? Have you ever, in a presidential election, been given a candidate to vote for that you did not have a chance to previously vote for in a primary or a what's the other thing that they have, the primaries and the caucuses or whatever it is? Like there's a whole bunch of people that want the job, and then they debate. There's a process. Has it ever happened before where a candidate of a party was just given to you without there being the process? She was in the process before. She was in debates before when she tried to run to be president. But she wasn't given the nomination. We didn't say, hey, you know what? We want her to be our pick to run for the office of president. So I just find it interesting. Has it ever happened before that for a presidential race, you were not given a chance to vote from a group of candidates, that you were just saying, nope, this is the one who's going to run? Has that ever happened before? And it's just so insulting to me. Like, what you mean that, like, she's the, like, what, why would you think everybody would just be on board with that? Democratic board convention people who make that decision. Why, y'all? First, it was Biden. He was the incumbent, and y'all was like, he's gonna run again. So, and then y'all saw him speak. Everybody did, and y'all was like, you know what? He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose badly. So instead of us losing, which is what's going to happen, what can we do about that? And y'all went behind some closed doors in some room, and y'all went back and forth, and y'all threw out some ideas. Well, maybe he can win. Well, he did he probably won't win, and maybe y'all threw out some names. Let's throw Michelle in the bed. Maybe Oprah will do it this time. And then somebody was like, well, we can just let Kamala run. And then y'all look like, can she beat Trump? Is she gonna be able to do it? And then somebody else, one of the writers from Malcolm and Eddie, was like, we can picture as the first black woman president. And everybody's light bulb in the room was like, I think that'll work. And then they poured some wine, had some escargot, sacrificed a goat, I don't know. And that's what they decided. And then they took that decision that those few people made, which, what do you call that? My coworker said she inherited the position. I was like, she's not kin. And this is not an oligarchy or a monarchy or whatever archy. So what would be the legal term for what happened there? What do you call that legally? When the incumbent, I hate saying that word. That when the president who's already president is going to run, and nobody's going to run against him, but then he decides he's not. Other people decide for him he's not going to run. And then they kind of push him out and then decide that somebody else is going to run who wasn't elected as the candidate to run. Like, what's the legal term for that? I'll wait. I couldn't think of any other time that had actually. I mean, I've only been alive for a few, I guess since Carter, but I've only been able to vote since Bush 2, W. And then my coworker who I asked this to, he was like, well, what about Hillary? And I was like, Hillary? What you mean Hillary? And then I was like, oh yeah, Hillary. I took my son to the polls for those primaries and had him fill in the bubble for Bernie. And Bernie having Killer Mike with him is nothing like Kamala having the Soul Train Awards, or is nothing like Hillary saying she keep hot sauce in her bag. Bernie would have beat Trump. Bernie won by vote of the populace the candidacy of the Democratic Party to run against Donald Trump in 2000. In 2020, Lord have mercy. What year is this? I never understood the title of the movie Back to the Future. It never made sense to me. Back to the Future. I guess he went there, but he never really went back to the future until part 2. So it was, but then I guess once he went to the past, he had to get back to the present. So I never really understood the title of that movie until today. Because we are back to the future. And in part 2 of Back to the Future, I think it was, what term of presidency was Donald J. Trump on? Was he he was president, right? And what term was he on? Was it his second term? Was he the forever president? What? Let me get back to it. Hillary. We all voted for Bernie. Most of us. Bernie won the vote. The Electoral College didn't come into play yet. Like this is the primary vote. This is populist. This is hands up, say aye type stuff. And Bernie got that vote. When it came to the convention and Bernie was supposed to be introduced and brought out on the stage and accept the nomination to run for president of these here United States of America, the weirdest thing happened. Instead of saying Bernie Sanders' name, that day I learned what superdelegates were. Had never heard of a superdelegate in my life. Heard of delegate, I guess that's like a person holding an office who, I've heard of, you can delegate things. I've heard of the word delegate, but superdelegate, what the hell is a superdelegate? And then it was explained to me forcibly that in the primaries, the vote of the people is divided up, Electoral College like, into regions, states, and each state is, not each state, but I don't know how it's broken down, that there are certain people who are elected or maybe given these positions of being superdelegates, and the superdelegate has to the superdelegate looks at and considers the vote of the people that he or she is representing in that region, and then decides, why is this person even here? Like, the vote has already been made. Why is there a person here to then look at the vote? This superdelegate then looks at the vote, sees the way that the people want to vote, and then decides where he or she gives his actual vote to, their actual vote to, for the candidacy. And this person can choose whatever he wants to, which is the first. My coworker reminded me, this just happened. The Democrats literally just played this trick on themselves, on y'all. They thought it would work then. They thought it would work now. It ain't work either time. Bernie won the vote. The superdelegates were like, so? We want Hillary to run against Donald J. Trump. We don't care what y'all voted. Y'all got up, got dressed, registered, went and filled it out, inserted into the little slide, got it counted, tuned in on TV, came here to the convention, and after all that, we just decided, you know what? Yo vote. Yo vote. We gonna do what we wanna do. That's the first day I learned what a superdelegate was. Like, wow, I didn't even know that existed, and why does it exist? And they decided, those superdelegates, that we are gonna ignore the vote that just took place, and we want Hillary. Why even have the vote anyway if these group of people are just gonna be like, if they could just decide? Why even let people think that they have anything to do with the process? Because y'all want people to think that they have something to do with the process. Ding, ding. So then the Democratic National Convention, those delegates, those superdelegates, gave the nod to Hillary, and she ran against Donald, and she got whooped. And we haven't seen a whooping like that since, ironically, now. Also involving Donald Trump, also involving a woman who they just decided they wanted to be the candidate, without the people saying, yeah, we us too. And look what happened. I'm so proud of y'all. I am so proud of y'all. I am so proud of y'all. Black people, brown people, my Spanish brethren, for not falling for the okie doke, for not being hoodwinked and bamboozled once again, for not having the wool run, for not being run amok.
I'm going to tell you like it really is. Every election year, these politicians are sent up here to pacify. This is what they do. Oh, I say it again. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Ran astray. Thank y'all for not being sheep this time. This is outstanding. This is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. Because we didn't fall for that. That lets me know that we're waking back up. We don't want to be asleep no more. We want to be up. We want to be out in these streets. We want to uprise as a people. And Donald Trump is going to be the man to do that. He's going to unify us, people. He's going to unify us. He's the great unifier. The man is so divisive. I don't know whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, but he's so divisive, and the things that he says and the things that he's going to say something. Somebody in the party, maybe somebody in that audience with one of them red hats on, is probably going to do something crazy. And we're going to get wind of it. And we're going to be like, oh, hold on. Who did what to who? No, we ain't having that. We're not having that under the Donald Trump administration. We got voices and we going to be heard. We ain't taking this sitting down. And then we're going to rise up as a people. And then Donald Trump is going to be forced to, he's going to be compelled to say something about it. And he's going to say something about it that's going to upset us. And we're going to be like, what? And it's going to empower somebody in his group, and they're going to do something, or something's going to happen, and it's going to be this perpetual cyclic cycle of back and forth of aggression and of that is how we rise. I don't know. That's apparently how we do it as a people. That I haven't seen any other way except for conflict driving us together. He's so divisive, he's unifying. Say it again. He's so divisive that he brings us together. That's why I voted for President Donald J. Trump. For us, black people. Because he's going to get us unified by his divisiveness. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If you can't wrap your head around it, I didn't touch on it while it was going down. Because I didn't want y'all to, Mark Crazy, what the hell's wrong with it? But now that it's said and done, and the scores have been tallied, and America has spoken. You know what? I ain't done. Because I ain't said nothing in a while. I got more to say. Bruh, picture this. Imagine casting your vote for what you believe is, to be the first black woman president. You cast your vote. You're in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. You get yourself dressed. You drive through traffic. You pay for tolls. You get to Howard. You find parking somewhere up and down 7th Street. I don't know, Georgia Ave. And you hope your car's still there when you get back in the condition it was. And you go through all kinds of Disneyland line-esque sort of metal detectors, and 2 hours from this point, and people and going through your bags and everything, and then you get into the yard, to the field where it's gonna be at, and you see the flags. Okay, you groove to the music. It's a party, and standing room only. People People all around you waiting. You out there for hours. You are out there for hours. And then the results start coming in. But you still there. You still there. Because you know what? You voted for this woman. This woman, you ride or die. Ride or die. It don't matter what. Believe in, and she gonna take us to the promised land, and you are for the cause, and this is your girl. This is it. This is Kamala. You got the shirt, and you man, and you standing there for hours. Fast forward. Fox News calls it quick, early. You're like, all right, you know what, it's Fox. Let it play out a little bit. Boom, CNN calls it. Early. You're like, dang. All right. So you keep waiting. You keep waiting. A few hours later, MSNBC gives in, calls it. It's still early. In regards to what everybody was expecting it and saying it was going to be. Oh, we're not going to have a clear, decisive winner until the following weekend. Imagine. You with HU, you know, you got the Kamala shirt on, you out there, you ready for to address the people, she don't win. You know what? It happens. Somebody had to lose. It didn't go your way. Here's the thing. I don't know why I'm so upset, because I didn't vote for her, so I'm not one of the ones that believe. After, without even conceding, Kamala, Donald still went on stage and he wasn't even there. He was home at Mar-a-Lago chilling with the fam. But when he got to look at all the results, he was like, man, take me to the spot. And he rolled up there. Y'all girl it was already publicized that that's where she was gonna be. She gonna be at Howard. Cause she the first black woman to be elected president. She gonna be at Howard. She gonna have her kufi on with some ankhs in her ears, and she gonna have her sisters whatever, like, no disrespect, but that's where the disrespect comes in. They staged all that. All of this is so staged. They staged all of that. And then she ain't even come out to talk to y'all. She ain't even come out to address y'all. She ain't even release her own statement. She ain't come out there and say like, well, y'all, she ain't getting Michael Jordan hands like, what you want me to do? I don't know. Like, she didn't even come out. Y'all remember that scene? In Black Panther where Killmonger went into their kingdom and challenged their king and then whooped his... And then he was looking down at the king.
Is this your king?
And was looking up at all the people. And you remember what he said? You remember what Killmonger said?
Is this your king? Huh?
Yeah, y'all just heard it in your... This is your king? This is your king?
Is this your king?
This is your king? Y'all, she ain't even come out. That's who y'all stood by?
Is this your king?
That's who y'all want to send this woman. Y'all wanted to send this woman out to other countries to speak to dictators and other world leaders and y'all want her to go out and address those people, but she couldn't even come out and address y'all. I'm sorry, that was probably very overmodulated. She couldn't even come out and address y'all. She didn't even come out. See, now that's why I'm mad. That's why I'm mad. I overheard these two white dudes talking, and they was all happy. They was like, yeah, we're going to go elect the first black woman president. And I was like, hold up. Like, first of all, y'all don't get to qualify her as that. Like, I'm black, and I don't even say that. And anyway, this is why I'm mad that y'all painted her with that characteristic, because few thousand, one or two people show up at a black woman house. She coming outside. Can I help y'all with something? No, I shouldn't have put it like that. She's not gonna cower. A black woman. She's gonna come outside with dignity, with grace, with humility, with confidence, with calmness, with readiness, with a clearness to speak to her millions of supporters that are watching, to help her part in the unification process and the passing on and you know, this democracy that we have. But man, it seemed real Trump-like for her, like, to not, you know, come out and address it. I don't like, if she's looking for, maybe she thinks there was some cheating or something, or like, it was real disrespectful to me. I don't know why. I feel like I keep feeling that play out over and over as I continue to watch this unfold. But everything, just from the whole planning of the convention to the planning of the results, acceptance speech ceremony, whatever you want. I mean, it's just, I feel not seen. I feel played with, and I feel like hopefully they learn their lesson. And yeah, all right. Wow, that was. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be, man. I was feeling constipated. I just had some things to get out. Speaking of that, thank y'all for still tuning in. Season 2 of the Lamar Carlos Show is on its way out. I've already got some interviews that we've already established, that we've already shot and are edited, and I'm gonna pop those out to you. Got some videos and some music, all kind of content that I can't wait to share with y'all. I was waiting for, you know, the season to be ripe, and here it is. Now's the time. So the Lamar Carlos Show, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
What is it, Lamar?
And that's Lamar.